Welcome back to Reps and Remedies, everyone, with Nita and myself, Marcy. And today we have a special guest, Dee, joining us as we dive into mental health. Yes.
Yeah, we're gonna dive into mental health, personal growth, coping mechanisms, all kinds, all the good stuff.
Yeah, you just reminded me to take my lithium, so,
Don't
I'll
forget
be right
that.
back, guys.
Important. So we wanted to dive deep today with Dee, because we all have a story, and we all know and love Mr. D. So I know a lot of people want to know more about you. One of our first questions is, if you're okay with this, what is your go-to realistic self-care routine when you feel overwhelmed by like everyday life stuff?
When do we not feel overwhelmed is the real question,
Right.
but, I will say one of the biggest self-care routines that I use personally is a social media blackout. That normally works for me when if I get too overwhelmed or if I feel as if and I get the sensory overload a lot, just because of going through social media, the apps, making videos, trying to film videos, bike content, disgraceful lifestyle, code community, and clothing brand, right? Sometimes everything kind of hits you at once, and you go into panic mode, or I do,
Yep.
where it just, once again, sensory overload. It could be anything, just someone saying something that triggers you. So what I'll do is I'll actually just completely cut socials. I'll shut my phone off. And as small as it sounds, just going for a walk or listening to music, those things right there for self-care, well, mental health self-care for me work really well. And I'll do it for an hour, 2 hours, 3 hours, whatever the case is, where I'll kind of just start to remind myself that I'm part of the real world. Everything's gonna be okay. Go get some sunlight, go take a walk, breathe for a minute. And also when you take that time, it's almost like meditation, right? So
Right.
when you don't have a million things going on, and you don't have your phone vibrating or you don't have people contacting you, that's when you can kind of take a deep breath, go for a walk, and start to prioritize. Sometimes you really do need to say, okay, this is too much right now. I have to put this on the chopping block, or maybe this is what I want to handle, or this is what I want to do. And also at the same time, your spirit talks to you. If you take a little bit of peace and you take a little break, a lot of times your spirit is going to tell you what you need to do first.
I agree with that. That's good.
I I totally agree with that too. Like I have my phone set on D&D after 9. I have it
Same.
automatically go on D&D when I arrive at work because believe it or not, like social media is like a real distraction for me at work too. So like
Yeah,
I
and
gotta
yeah, for sure.
put my phone on D&D a lot.
Yeah,
Same.
you know what I do, and a lot of people don't know, but, my phone stays on D&D, and I only allow certain numbers to come through. I only allow certain notifications to come through, because ever since I started doing that, my mental health has been a lot better.
That's
Because
good.
at a certain point, I was a slave to notifications, whether it was on TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, whatever apps that you're using, right? Sometimes it's just that rush of endorphins that you get from it when you open up the app and it goes, "Hey, you got 50 more likes in 3 minutes," and all of a sudden that feeling of accomplishment hits, and it's almost addicting. So, I
Yeah.
was there at a certain point, and it was really unhealthy, and I learned very quickly, for me personally, that I needed to kinda separate that. So my phone stays on D&D. People will call my phone and they're like, "Why is your phone always going to voicemail?" Because once again, I can check my voicemail or you can shoot me a text message, but I'm no longer allowing myself to be a priority to everyone else and social media and not prioritizing myself as well by doing so. So, and a lot of people disagree with me because they're like, "What if it's an emergency? What if it's that?" Well, I can promise you one thing. Even if it's an emergency, whether you get in touch with me or not within the first minute of you calling or texting, it's not gonna be able to change the outcome for a lot of things. So, I'm a big fan of DND, put the emergency contacts through, put the things that matter through. Social media, once again, is not an emergency contact, and it's not the most important thing in my life anymore. So, it does help me with that when I'm able to do things like that.
I agree. Yeah,
Yeah.
no. With that said, how do you distinguish between your everyday stress and then those big burnouts?
Ooh, coping mechanisms. So adults, me as an adult, I didn't realize that you actually had to. build coping mechanisms for growing up, maturity, life stresses, career stresses, job stresses. And at one point in my life, yeah, everything was the end of the world. I didn't have those coping mechanisms. I had a very immature mindset where if I had one inconvenience, my day was ruined. I used to let a minor inconvenience ruin my day. I was one of those people at a point in time where, and it's so immature. So I work on coping mechanisms all the time, and you know, Captain Jack Sparrow says it the best. The problem isn't the problem. The problem is your attitude towards the problem. As niche and corny as it sounds, a lot of times the way that you look at a problem, the way that you handle it determines how it's going to go. And you can sit there, you can pout about it, or you can take a deep breath, drink some water, and start to actually look at it as an opportunity to grow. So, a lot of the times when I'm dealing with just normal stresses, whether it's work, social media, dealing with all the bikes, whatever the case is, even when it comes to the DLC clothing company, right? Sometimes when we do a drop, I could have 500 orders sitting on a computer staring at me. And you have to sit there and just say, okay, this is possible, one thing at a time. And when you learn those coping mechanisms and you learn to actually handle stress and you learn to accept things as they are, instead of treating it as if the world has something against you or if and also a victim mindset. I used to have a victim mindset where why is this happening to me? Why is this? I am blessed that these things happen to me. Instead of me sitting there being upset because something happened with the clothing company, or we placed a wrong order, or something happened with the bike, or this is happening, or one of my videos didn't get 20,000 views, or whatever the case is, right? I can sit there and have a victim mindset, or I could sit there and say, wow, I am blessed to have problems with things that I used to pray for in the future.
Yep,
I used to
that is
pray I
good.
had a motorcycle. I used to pray I would have my own clothing company. I used to pray that a single video would get 100 views.
Yeah,
So, sometimes for me personally, I step back and I don't look at it as a problem. I look at it as something that's going to help me grow.
there you go.
Uh,
Marcy and I always say it's always mind over matter, or it's like attitude and effort. Everything with you is attitude and effort.
Yeah,
We always say that.
it really is because, approaching it something that might be adverse or different to your everyday lifestyle or something that's, just out of the box of what you normally deal with can be very stressful if you're not educated on it and you don't understand it. So when you look at something and you look at a problem or you look at something that even as small as inconvenience of a social media issue, if you don't handle it properly, if you don't have the right attitude, or if you don't have the right coping mechanisms or problem solving skills, yeah, it can become overwhelming. It can become overwhelming very quickly when you're not educated or you don't understand. And that's why it's always best to take a step back and just say, okay, here's the problem. But guess what? I have a small problem over here. Or I have a minor inconvenience. But look what I have in front of me. Look at all this beauty. Look at everything that I have. And you know what? Why not? I can do this. I can attack this problem. I can figure this out, or I can overcome this feeling or this emotion. Because sometimes it's your feelings and emotions and your stress that lead to you not really understanding or thinking properly.
Yeah,
So it's
very
extremely,
true.
I agree with you. Your attitude and approach towards anything and everything is extremely important. And the calmer you can be about it, and the more that you can recognize that it's not a world ending issue is so helpful. When you
Yeah,
could just take a step back and go, okay, this is a minor inconvenience, but look at everything else that's going on in my life.
yeah, I like that. I like that a lot. I think you pretty much already answered this one. But what's one piece of advice you would give your younger self if you could?
Breathe.
I agree.
Breathe. Here, let me grab him by the back of his head right now and scream at him and smack him. Young man, breathe. You are
Yeah.
right where you need to be. It's okay that you're not a millionaire. It's okay that you don't have all the nice things. It's okay that you're not doing as good as your peers.
Hmm.
Your time is going to come. Your journey is your own. Take it all in. Take a breath. Be calm. Be proud of yourself. The fact that you have the ability to walk, talk,
Mm,
speak, see, hear, and experience life is a blessing in its own right. Stop looking at what you don't have and start looking at what you do have and start appreciating it. Because once again, you used to pray. I used to pray that I would have my own little bed to sleep in. I
Mm.
used to pray that I would have my own apartment. I used to pray that I would get an education. I used to pray that I would have a job. I remember I used to dream about those things. I can't wait to get a nice car. I can't wait to get a nice bike. I can't wait to go to these places and experience them. Take a
Yeah.
deep breath. Start looking at what you have right now. Believe in yourself and stop being your biggest enemy and your biggest critic. You're doing good.
Yeah, I agree with that. That's probably what I would tell myself too. Like, stop looking at the bigger picture. Focus what's in front of you. That's what I would tell
Yeah.
myself. What about you, Marcy?
I would have to also, like, agree. Like, I think I took a lot of, like, things for granted growing up,
Hmm.
and always made like, I don't wanna say, like, a bigger deal of things, but, you would always think the world was crashing down for some
Hmm.
reason or another. So, again, just telling myself to take a step back and just even be thankful for what I did have. Like, things didn't always go as planned. I had, like, a rough, like, teenage years and things, but just
Right.
taking a step back and appreciating what I did have in the moment.
We agree with you, Dee. Yeah, that's a great advice.
Yeah. Oh, I wish somebody would have just, if anything, I wish I would have had that. I guess I would have had that. Wished I would have had that person, that person to sit me down and say, "Hey, the world is a lot bigger, but also a lot smaller than what you think, and you need to take it all in and stop looking at, so many things that you think are important." Because as we get older, right, the importance of things shift.
Hmm.
Our
Right.
wants and needs shift. And when you're younger, yeah, everything feels like the end of the world. I failed a test. I didn't get the job. I didn't get the girl. I didn't get the bike. I didn't get the car. I didn't get this. I didn't get that. You know what? Why
Mhm.
me? Poor me. You
Yeah.
don't understand what it's like to deal with these things. And isn't that the best thing in the world? You don't know what it's like to deal with this. Really, we're all not experiencing this lavish world that we live in. Are you sure about that? When it comes to very common things, a lot of us have a lot of things in common. And I think that every person should have dreams, hopes, goals, and they should have things that they want in this life. And sometimes you're not always going to get it. And like you said, it's not always going to work out the way that you dreamed it to be.
Mhm.
That's something that is a common misconception, right? All right, the castle's gonna be gold, everything's gonna be perfect, and this is gonna be the way it's supposed to be. It's gonna glitter, it's gonna be shiny, and then you get there and you're like, "This is not how I thought it would be." That's because you made it up in your own head.
Just that
So,
mentality for a minute there.
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. So, absolutely, yeah. It's growing up and learning these things and learning about life. Life is very interesting. It's
Yeah,
a very interesting thing, and you gotta live it and you gotta appreciate it.
agreed. So another question is, what is the hardest part about asking for help?
Mhm.
Vulnerability. Being vulnerable. Man, oh man, isn't that scary? That is
Yeah.
something men
For
don't
sure.
talk about. Listen to me. A man will literally shoot himself in the foot, run himself into some drywall. A man will slam his head into whatever is available in that moment, then be vulnerable and ask for help. Men are not good at doing that. The reason why is because it shows weakness. I think even the words, I am asking for help," is such a horrifying thing for a lot of people because you are sitting there almost admitting defeat. And to you as a person, that is hard. It is hard as a person to say, "I'm not doing this right," or "I'm not capable of handling this," or "I don't understand this," or "I am just at a point in my life where I can't do this alone." But at the same time, with anyone who I have trusted to ask for help, not only have I learned something, but they've taught me the value of friendship and family. And asking for help and asking the right people for help. And what I mean by right people is people that you can genuinely trust to have your best interests. Asking for help has been one of the greatest things I've ever done. I've done it with my moderators in the DLC community. Well, I've done it with you guys. We've had phone calls and I have
Mhm.
reached out to you guys and said, "I need help with this. I'm overwhelmed. I need help with this." And you wanna know what? It's not that bad. Once you rip off that Band-Aid, once you just rip it off and show everyone, "This is the cut I got. This is the bruise I got. This is what's going on." There's some helping hands. There really is. There's some helping hands out there that will get you right, but you have to be okay with admitting you're not perfect, with admitting that, you don't have it all figured out, and I know we want to, especially men want to, and I'm just speaking from my mindset as a man. I never want anyone to think I'm not capable of doing something. To me personally, that's such a tough thing, right? I never want people to think that I, as an individual, cannot handle any task that's appointed to me or that might just end up in my path of my life journey. Asking for help when you have a good support system and you have the right people in your life is is actually one of the best things that you could ever do because it shows you who your people are and it shows you who you are. So it's scary, but when you rip that Band-Aid off and you just start to show people, "Hey, this is what I'm dealing with," a lot of times it's the most beneficial thing you can do in your life.
Agreed. Agreed. With that said, how did you overcome how did you overcome it? Like asking for help. I know you
Yeah,
said it was
yeah,
hard for you, but so how did you overcome that?
I had to check my ego. It was my ego and my pride, personally, right? I'm pridefully driven. I'm ego driven. All people, I think, have that in one way or
Mhm.
another. Um, and I think that, it's extremely hard to have to look at yourself, like I said, look at yourself in the mirror and say, "Hey, I need assistance with this." But, if you can check that ego, if you can check that pride, and you can admit that to yourself and be a little more comfortable with the people that you consider your support system, it makes it a lot easier to do. When you are comfortable with your support system, when you're comfortable with whoever your support system may be, whether it's friends, family, your therapist, your coworkers, once again, your support system is what you make it and who you make it of, right? You get to choose that. So when you have a support system that's built on trust, respect, caring, concern, dropping that ego and dropping that pride is something that can be a lot easier, right? Because you're not afraid to show that side of yourself.
Agreed. Agreed. What about you, Marcy?
I 100% agree. And it's funny you actually kind of brought this up because I feel like sitting down one on one with like health coaching clients, like it's that initial admitting I need help that like people find it hard to do. Like, when I'm sitting with my clients, like a lot of them will tell me, like, I know what I need to do. I know how to eat or what I'm supposed to eat. I know I should work out. It's the admitting I need help to get like my motivation even started. But honestly, even more so from guys. And you're right, because guys don't want to admit that they need help. Like, I hate to say that.
Yeah.
Women
No, it's
too, but
scary.
guys too, yeah. Especially coming to a woman and asking a woman that they need help. Like I have guy clients. I have plenty of guy clients, but not as many as women. And they are afraid to admit that, like, hey, I can't do this on my own.
Yeah.
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 That's me though.
It's scary. It's very scary because with the way the world is right now, everyone's evolved,
Hmm.
you know, and society has evolved. But I think this still holds true for a lot of men that they wanna be leaders, they wanna be
Hmm.
protectors, they want to be, not in essence savage, but they wanna be those tough guys, they wanna be, they wanna be that guy, they wanna be the protector, and, I think, yeah, it can be really, really scary. It can be somewhat humiliating to approach a woman and say, "Hey, I need help with my physical aspects, I need help with these certain things that, are hard to talk about." But also at the same time, the more that you get comfortable with yourself, the more that you recognize yourself and you're self-aware, the more that you start to see people for, once again, what they are and who they are. And, for me, I look at you as someone that can benefit me and make me into a better man, a better person, a better individual. And if you look at it from that aspect versus, hey, this is embarrassing or this is humiliating or I'm really scared to approach a woman. Oh man, I have to approach this woman as a man and say, please help me with my, 3 a.m. Oreo eating issue. And we all have it, right? Like
Right.
listen, sometimes I wake up at 3 a.m. and I slam down a whole sleeve of Oreos, right? But if you can put that to the side and you could say, hey, listen, you're really educated, you know what you're doing, right? This is something that you've educated yourself in school for. This is something that you do day in and day out. And it's something that I don't do. If you can drop all of that ego and drop that pride and just talk individual to individual, it's so beneficial. And yeah, it's scary, but at the end of the day, whether it's a woman or a man that gets me fit, gets me healthier, gets me some of that mental clarity, that's a godsend. And it shouldn't
Mhm.
matter the gender. But yes, for men, sometimes that can be very hard to drop that.
Agreed. With that said, though, also playing off of the whole thing, what role do you feel like friendships and relationships like play with your like? How should I word this? What role do friendships and relationships play in your mental health well being? How do you feel like it's helped you?
All right. So I'll say, show me who your friends are, and I'll tell you who you are. You know that saying, or however
True.
it may go. I might have chopped it up. Your core system, your friends, your family are going to determine a lot of things for you. One, they're going to determine how you view life and what you hold dear, because your system and your friend group, your support system, once again, is going to be filled with individuals who have that mindset that you either share or a goal that you share, a common interest, right? So
Mhm.
if you like to go out and party every night and you want to be in your mid 30s going to the club, I can promise you most of your friends are going to be party goers and that's what they're going to be.
Right.
If you're an individual who is very motivated on bettering your life or being fit and healthy. A lot of your friends are going to be people who, once again, enjoy outdoor activities, being fit, taking care of their body, right? So the system and the support group that you put in place for yourself of individuals that you allow to be close to you are going to determine your mindset, your way of thinking, and also it's going to determine your future. And I know that's hard for people to hear, but once again, if you put yourself in a place or around a group of people who don't strive for success, you're never going to actually have that ability to do it. If you're constantly around people that are like, we can't do this, this is not possible, or, I don't think that we have the capabilities of doing this. Guess what? You're going to believe that, and you're also going to take that into your own mental well being. You're going to think of yourself as a person who's unable to do things. You're going to think about all these ideas that you have in the middle of the night or when you're at home sitting in silence as things that are not possible or that you're not capable. It's very, very important. I do not, one of the worst things that you can do is set yourself up around a group of people that consistently don't believe in themselves.
Mhm.
I don't wanna be
Yeah.
around you. I don't
Right.
wanna be around you if you don't believe in yourself. I don't wanna be around you if you don't have hopes and dreams. I don't wanna be around you if you don't have a belief system that you can do something. And I'm not trying to be cliche or niche, and I'm not sitting here and I'm not gonna talk about, "Hey, you know what? We could be the president the next day, or we could do this, or, we can look like, this and do this." No. At the end of the day, you should have a belief system where if you put in the hard work, the effort, and if you give good thoughts about what you're going to do and you actually put a plan in place, you should have people around you that are saying, hey, we're capable of doing this. We're here to support you. How can we help? Because you and your friends and your family should have a mindset of, yes, we can reach whatever it is that we set as a goal as long as we keep it attainable and
Right.
possible and keep it real. Tell me, this is what I can say. How many people do we come across every single day in our life or at work or just in the world that sit there and say, hey, I want to be a millionaire, or I want to be rich, or I want to be famous, or I want to be this, I want to be that. Okay, sure. How are you going to do that? I don't know. I just want it, and this is what I'm going to do. Right? That's
Mhm.
fantastic. I'm glad that you have these grandiose ideas. That's great. And then you come across some of these people that say, hey, I wanna lose 5 pounds, and once I lose 5 pounds, I wanna lose 10 pounds. Once I lose 10 pounds, I wanna lose 15 pounds. Or, "Hey, I wanna start a small business. How am I gonna do this?" Okay, first I'm gonna educate myself on the item that I'm trying to sell or something that I'm trying to promote, right? I'm gonna learn about it. I'm gonna do this. Then I'm gonna go and take out a loan. I'm gonna open up this business here because this is area is thriving, right? People who actually have those small steps, those goals, those people that genuinely want to do it are constantly making small victories every day in their life. They
Mhm.
see those small victories and they're actually doing it versus people that are just saying, "Hey, I wanna do this and I wanna be this." That's fantastic, you can. There's a possibility that you might get that lucky and you can do it, but, the amount of people that I've met that are extremely successful, they've fought for it tooth and nail, and every single day was a day of progress for them or a day of learning. Whether you failed on that day and you learned something, or whether you succeeded and you made some progress, you got something out of that day every single day. So that's my
Agreed.
2 cents.
I like totally agree. And like that goes like with the analogy of like having like the one bad apple with like all the good apples and it turns
Mhm.
all the good apples bad. Like it's based around who you surround yourself with. And
Right.
like that's the lifestyle you're going to like lead. So, make sure you're
Agreed.
surrounding yourself with like-minded people who are going to
Right.
uplift you and not bring you down.
There's this saying my dad used to say, and it's so cliche, but you are who you surround yourself by, like with.
Yes.
It's like the same thing as you are what you eat,
Yes.
kind of
Yeah,
thing. So I
absolutely.
wholeheartedly believe in that because, like, if I have a friend who's always so negative or always talking about somebody, it's toxic. It's poison. It poisons the mind. And if I
Hmm.
have a friend like Marcy here who's like positive, go getter, like we got this, let's just couple more squats, like motivating, it does something to your mind, like mind, body,
Yeah.
and soul. It's
Yep.
positive. It's
Yeah,
contagious.
Absolutely.
absolutely, because how many times have you know, this is me being very real right now and being, very open with you guys because you guys are friends, you guys are family to me. How many times have I told you guys that, we were all, and maybe not we, I'll say I was in a position where I used to try to celebrate things that I was doing with DLC, things that I was doing with my social media, my life, my career. And it was so hard to do those things because I was surrounded by people that had the poor me mindset, or, yeah, I'm happy for
Mhm.
you, but this is also sad, or this is going on. Oh
Yes.
no, this, and oh no, that. It was one of the most toxic things that I ever put myself around because I was consistently putting myself in a situation where I was trying to once again elevate myself, elevate my life, or at least choose, right? Because you can choose this. Choose
Yes.
Mhm.
happiness.
You can.
Choose to be positive,
Yes.
choose to believe in myself. I used to have that mindset, but the issue is that if you aren't around those people that have the same thing, they will never see the beauty in life. They will never see the small successes. They will never see the small progress that you've made. All they will see is what you haven't done or
Mhm.
what bad is happening in the world or what's sad.
Right.
If you decide to put yourself around people that live in sadness, that live in self-doubt, that live in
Mhm.
trauma, that live in despair, then you will never know what it's like to actually celebrate a small success. And I mean a small success. Hey, I
Yep.
walked 2 miles today. This week, I lost 2 pounds. This week, I educated myself on something that I'm passionate about. You'll never truly be able to enjoy that success because they'll never allow you to once again celebrate something as small as that
Right.
when you should be.
Yeah, and I'm like a firm
Agreed.
believer celebrating those small victories because like
Mhm.
that's
Me
what
too.
builds on to your bigger victories. So,
Yep,
It's our
me
Lego
too. If
stacking we keep talking about. It
yep.
really is.
Yep, 'cause, you know, if you're constantly running, if you're constantly just 100% full blast, full throttle, doing everything, you're never gonna appreciate all of those little things that you're doing in the process of it all. And it's okay to have that motivation. It's okay to be prideful of what you're doing. It's okay to quote unquote be a savage and just keep pushing and keep working hard, right? But it's also okay to sit down and recognize yourself sometimes. And not in a way that, you're being narcissistic or glutinous or any of the above. Or it's okay to recognize yourself and say, "Hey, I'm proud of you. You know what? We accomplished this small thing today." And even though it was a small thing, I had a horrendous day. This happened, my tire went flat, I failed at this, I did this, but guess what? We had this small success today out of this big mess of a
Yep.
day. And that is something to celebrate because once again, we didn't have that the day before. I didn't know this the day before. We just learned this today. We just got
Mhm.
this today, right? Celebrate those small successes where you recognize yourself because sometimes you just keep running and running and running and you're constantly stressed out. And that is one of the best ways for your body, your mental state, and also your spirit to give out on you is when you don't take some time to look at yourself and say, hey, you're doing it. Look how far we've come. And also, a million small steps towards success brings you to the place you want to be. You just got to keep taking a little step every day. And then when you turn around and look, you're not in the same place you used to be.
You got to surround yourself with like-minded people to get there.
100%.
For sure. For sure. I agree with all of that. So, how do you handle setting boundaries? I know you're so busy. Mr. D has like DLC, he has Discord, he has social media. Like, you're a content creator, you're running all kinds of stuff. Basically, you're building an empire. So, how do you handle setting boundaries for your personal life and your professional life?
So, my go-to lately is if you can't accept the way I tell you no with the same mindset when I tell you yes, I don't want you in my life. That is my boundary. If I say
Mhm.
no, this makes me uncomfortable, I don't need you to sit there and drill me about it. I don't need you to sit there and question me about it. I don't need you to do anything besides accept it the same way and give me the same responses and the same respect when I tell you yes about something. And if you cannot do that, that is a red flag in my life.
Mhm.
If something makes me uncomfortable, or if I'm unable to do something at that moment in time, or if it brings me stress in a way that's negative or impactful in my life that is no good, as a person, friend, or someone who might be a subscriber or be a fan of just the sole content, or someone who's in the community, right? If you can't accept me saying no, then I don't think you genuinely respect me as a person. That is something I've had to be okay with saying, and I had to tell myself it was okay. I think it was very hard for me in the beginning to say no. Not in a way that's rude
Yep.
towards people, but no, this isn't going to work for me today. No, I don't have the time for this. No, I'm not capable of doing that right now. No, no is one of the best things that you can have in your arsenal when it comes to boundaries. And it's not in a way to disrespect people, and it's not in a way to be lazy, or it's not in a way to take, accountability. You should be accountable for the things that you do. You should be you know, you should recognize what's going on around you, but it's okay to say no to people. And part of setting boundaries is not worrying about whether or not it's going to benefit them.
Right.
No isn't to benefit you, it's to
Right.
benefit me.
Right.
And I am the person who I have to go to bed with every night. I have to look at myself in the mirror every night. I have to sit there and feed my soul before I feed your desires.
Right.
Agreed. Agreed.
So, with learning self-respect, and it's something that took me a long time to do because I was consistently so scared about losing one subscriber, one follower, having someone say something bad about me or say, "Oh, yeah, your social media is this, you post thirst traps, you do this, DLC is this, blah, blah, blah." If I sat there and decided to just yes everyone and appease
Mhm.
everyone, then DLC wouldn't have the genuineness it has today. If I would have continued down that path by me pleasing everyone, I would have died by the same sword. There's a good saying with that is that if you live by the applause, you'll die by the booze.
Mm.
And I no longer live for the applause. Instead, what I live for is genuineness. Instead, what I live for is my self-worth, happiness, and self-respect. Saying no has got me there many, many times, and it's also kept me mentally safe. And I no longer explain myself to people. I no longer have to do that, okay? If I am unable to do something, or if I do not want to speak about something, if something makes me uncomfortable, if I am unable to meet you where you want me to meet you, that is fine. I completely respect you. I'm not mad at you, and you shouldn't be mad at me.
Right.
Right.
It's okay to set boundaries. It's okay to say, "Hey, this is not something I'm interested in. This is not something I wanna do. This is something that's not feeding my soul. It's not benefiting my life," or, "This is something that just flat out makes me uncomfortable. I am not willing to do." I don't owe you anything. The only people you owe something to is your husband, your wife, your children, your friends, and family, and what you owe them is your happiness and their respect, and that's all. That's all it is in life. That's all it is. And with
Mhm.
social media, learning to not live and die by that sort of likes, comments, subscribers is something that I had to teach myself because it did create a whirlwind in my life. And the minute I started giving myself a little more self-respect and started respecting my own privacy and not letting everyone in and giving everyone access to every little part of my life is when I started being happier. When I stopped sitting there and allowing people to have opinions about my life that they don't, once again, benefit, that they don't even deserve to be a part of, is when my life got better. So setting as far as boundaries go, I'm at that point in my life where I am very open and clear about what works for me, what doesn't work for me as an individual, as a business owner, as a company, as a social media entrepreneur, whatever people want to call me. I'm really comfortable saying, "Hey, I don't wanna talk about this. I don't wanna talk about this on live. I don't wanna do this. I don't wanna talk about this in the DMs. I don't wanna do this for the clothing brand. I don't wanna do this for the community." And it's that simple. I don't owe you anything. I don't need to sit there and fight with you about something that makes me uncomfortable. If you cherish my mental health, if you respect me as a person, you will simply respect my answer on it. So my
Mhm.
boundaries are straightforward at this point in time. If I feel uncomfortable with something or someone or anything in my life, I make it known and then I step away from it. It is that simple. I am not there to explain myself anymore. If I don't like something, I don't like something. I don't need to tell you why. It's none of your business. I'm
Mhm.
not doing it.
I'm so proud of you. And like the couple years I've known you, I am so proud of you. You've grown
I
Yeah.
agree. I totally
tremendously.
Yeah.
agree. Yeah,
I
right?
was like sitting there like trying not to get teary eyed. I'm like, I'm clapping for you. I'm like, I am so proud of you.
Ah,
Um, like Marcy and
thank
I
you.
said in our last episode, not everybody deserves a seat at the table you built. You know,
I love it. Love it.
Yeah.
Scream it from the mountaintops.
and that was
That's the thing,
something
right?
we talked about last episode. We always want the acceptance to go sit at other people's tables. Why? Are they bettering you? Are they feeding you? Like fueling your soul? If the answer is no, then build your own table, and that's
Yeah.
your table. Not everyone deserves a seat at your table.
Right.
That
Exactly.
right? We don't and I have another one, right? Don't let people inside of a house that weren't willing to lay a brick with you,
Yep.
right? You're
Yep,
not gonna come inside the home that I built if you weren't willing to put in the work, if you weren't willing to lay a brick. That's the thing, right? People wanna be a part of the finished product. They think
Right.
it's magic. The
Yep.
magic
yep.
to success is the hard work behind the scenes. The magic
Mhm.
to success is the late nights. The magic to success is boundaries, saying no. The magic to success is sometimes also self-growth, right?
Right.
Making mistakes and growing from it and recognizing those mistakes and all of those things. And when you start to be more comfortable with yourself and when you start to say, hey, this is what works for me. This is my thing that I built and this is how I'm doing it. And I'm not here to appease people. And yeah, I don't want you at my table if you're just here for dinner.
Right.
Yep.
Sorry. If you weren't willing to cook, if you weren't willing to help build the table, if you weren't there for me, no, you're not eating at my table. Don't enjoy my food. No, I'm sorry. It's that simple.
Agreed. What is the best advice? Like, is best, okay, how should I word this? What is the best piece of self care advice you have ever received? Whoever it may that have been, what is the best piece of self care advice you have received?
Man, another cliche niche thing, right? I can't believe it works. It
It
works
works.
even for men. And I know this is going to be hard for people to hear because they're going to think it's corny. In the
Let's hear it.
morning, when you wake up, when you're brushing your teeth, when you're in the bathroom, when you're laying in bed, when you're drinking some coffee and meditating, whatever the case is, love yourself, appreciate yourself. Spend 10 minutes in the morning being proud of yourself, giving yourself that confidence. Look in the mirror and say, wow. Look at you, look around, take it all in. The best piece of self-care that was ever given to me was someone telling me and basically making it clear to me that, "Hey, you're not appreciating yourself when you wake up every day. You're not loving yourself, you're hating yourself." "What do you mean?" "Well, I'm waking up in the morning, you're brushing your teeth, you're doing all this, you're taking care of the kids, you're taking care of your friends, you're doing all of this, right? You're rushing out the door to go work for someone else. Now you're speeding through traffic to get to work. Now you're stressing out about being, once again, being a great role model and worker and parent and all of those things. Congratulations, right? You've done all those things in a 24-hour day. Did you give yourself 10 minutes of self-respect, care, and love today?
Mhm.
Did you even tell yourself that you're proud of yourself? Did you sit down and look around and enjoy the home that you built or the business? Every day you should be doing that. Every day, the biggest piece of self-care is self-love, self-worth. You
I
got to love yourself. You have to be proud of yourself. Stop doing
Mm.
everything for everyone and then coming home at the end of the night, jumping in bed and going, "Oh, the mission is passed. I'm exhausted. I survived today." You might have survived today, but did you live today?
That right there.
Right. I love that advice too. I mean, and you'd be surprised of how like it changes your attitude for the day, though.
With Marcy's, our little thing we have going on, our bootness, she also does daily affirmations to always like to remind ourselves to like focus on yourself and do your morning affirmations. It really does change a mindset.
Yeah, it really
Yeah.
does. Just being prideful in who you are, not in a way
Mhm.
that's toxic, but being prideful in who you are as a person is one way to really gear up your self-confidence, your self-worth, and self-respect.
Yep, agreed. That's all the questions I have today.
Anything else that you anything else you want to touch on, D?
Self-growth.
Let's talk about
You
it.
want to know something? For way too long during my start of social media, my life and everything, I got to a point where I stopped focusing or stopped caring about self-growth, my mental health, being aware, being self-aware, all of those things. I stopped doing it because my life became so busy. And my life got to a point where it was saying yes to everyone, doing everything I could to appease everyone, consistently trying to put out fires for other people, being involved with other people's lives and mental health and betterment of their life, or being involved with whatever it may be, right? For so long, I was willing to do whatever was necessary for others and then
Mhm.
completely forgetting about the fact that I am a human being. I have a body, I have a mental state, I have a spirit, and these are things that need to be fed. These are things that need to be nourished. These are things that need to be cared for, and I need to do that for me first before I step outside my house or step outside my comfort zone or step outside of myself. And once again, I'm not saying that you shouldn't be a good person and be there for people, but for way too long, I was willing to go to battle for everyone else but myself.
You were draining your cup
So,
and nobody
yeah,
was filling
yeah.
yours up.
So exactly. So focusing on betterment is something that I've been working on, and being able to say, "No, I don't wanna do this," or being able to say, "Hey, I'm taking 2 hours for myself every day, or 3 hours, or 4 hours." Once again, self-growth, bettering yourself as a person is something that I've been very, very heavily aware of lately and recently because, I didn't do it, and it kinda turned me into a very it turned me into a mess of a human being because when you're not centered with yourself, when you're not caring about yourself, when you're not self-aware of what's going on in your life and you're just living in all the craziness, it's a train that you don't wanna be on, and it doesn't stop. It just keeps getting worse and worse and worse. I would say, if anything, don't be afraid to give back to yourself in whatever context that may be for you, but feed your happiness because as we're getting older, and the cool part is that we've known each other for a few years now. So we are maturing as friends and family here.
Mhm.
In DLC with
Mhm.
ambassadors, moderators, or just as individuals, as friends, right, guys? We're
Right.
getting older. We
Right.
gotta make sure that we make those moments, those memories. We gotta make sure that we enjoy these things, whether it's with our friends, our family, our kids, our spouses, or just simply yourself. The
True.
world is so crazy, it's nonstop. We have
Right.
so many issues. Stop, breathe,
Right.
drink some water, sit back, kick your fucking feet up, and take in some of the beautiful things that you've accomplished in life. Whether it's in the form of a child, a job, a career, something you've built, a hobby, music, it doesn't matter.
Mhm.
Why are you not taking time for yourself and giving every ounce of energy you have into everything else into the world? That is that is once again insane to think about. That we have in reality, right? What's the lifespan? 70, 80 years old?
Right.
Right.
How many and on top of that, our lifespan's only 70 to 80 years, right? For most average humans.
Mhm.
How
And w
long is your body good for those 70, 80 years? I would say around
Mhm.
55, it really starts to kick. So what you're telling me is that you're willing to kill yourself and do everything you can humanly possible for everyone else in your life, but you're not willing to enjoy your body while it's good, while it's physically able. You're not willing to take these trips. You're not willing to give back to yourself. You're not willing to have some fun, get back to your family. Give
Mhm.
back to yourself. Think about it. Life is short. Make sure you're around the people that you love and make sure you make those memories.
Uh,
I agree.
I was
I
gonna say,
agree.
I totally agree. Like,
Totally
when I
agree.
sit with, like, one-on-one, like, to do just, like, the health coaching, like, that's a big thing that comes up with a lot of people because they feel like they owe everybody else something, and they can't think of themselves until that with everybody else
Last.
is
Period.
yeah.
Yeah,
And reality is, like, if you don't take care of yourself first, you're not gonna be here to take care of them later.
Correct.
absolutely. Absolutely. And that's why I'm very big with even if I'm dealing with certain things that I'm in the gym or I'm going for a walk 3 times a week. Listen to
Mhm.
me, I am not Brad Pitt, okay? I have a nice little belly. I like eating pizza, tacos, and Oreos, and all of those good goddamn things in the world because you wanna know something? They taste good, they really do. But also at the same time, I've never felt more confident or good about myself, or just in general physically fit until I started my gym journey. And my gym journey, it wasn't about me losing weight and looking like Brad Pitt. My gym journey was about me feeling self-confident in the ability to just do something that I didn't think I could do. Marcy, me and you talk about it. I fail every single time I go to the gym. I never leave the gym successful. I love failing in the gym. It makes me happy. I work out until failure. And what that means is I'm not gonna stop until I can't lift the dumbbell. I'm not gonna stop until I get 2, 3, 4, 5 miles. And I'm not gonna stop until I fail because in failure thrives success.
Mhm.
So, the gym has taught me that. The gym has
Yes.
taught me that failure is actually the best thing that you can do in certain scenarios. And failing in the gym has been one of the most humbling experiences in my life and also knowing that I'm capable of doing those things the next day and the next day and progressing is the beauty of it is that even though I might have failed yesterday, I may not fail today. And what I mean is I might have walked 2 miles yesterday. Today I did 3 miles. I went for 3.5, failed. Next day did 3.5, failed at 4. So I will happily fail in the gym every single day of my life. Happily do it because it's built a foundation for me of self-respect, self-worth, and self-care, and I do it with my dad bod. I do it happily. I do it with my dad bod happily. I am grateful that I am doing these things and that I'm capable of doing these things because once again, we live in a world where many people aren't. So be grateful that you have those small successes.
Agreed. I agreed.
I love that. Yes.
I do
Yep.
have one last question, maybe off topic. I don't think it is. Who is D when there's no social media and no one watching? Who is D?
A happy old man. That's the
Love it.
secret. You wanna know something? I'm gonna tell you guys only. And I say it and people don't believe me. My For You page is birds. couples comedy, motorcycles. My life is a lot more simple than what people realize. I do not wake up and go, okay, let me put on my leathers and spandex and get the whips and cracks and let's be feral and do all these things. No, I do not. I don't do any of the above. I do not wake up and go, single moms and thongs. I have a bunch of women in thongs serving me coffee and breakfast. I am a TikTok motorcycle thirst trapper. No, I wake up and I text my mother every morning, "Hey, Ma, how are you? Good morning." My mother lets me know she's okay. Then I go and I drink my coffee. I eat my oatmeal. I watch the birds. Um, I am so in my humble, relaxed, live my best life era right now. And people don't see that because they see the social media aspect, and they always tend to forget that social media is only 10% of once again what you really I
Yeah.
only choose to show people what I want to show
Mhm.
them on social media and that there's boundaries and I do have a family, I do have partners, I do have
Right.
significant others, I do have all of these things. I am not here to be someone's, knight in shining armor. No, I'm here to
Mhm.
make you laugh. I'm here to make you smile. I'm here to make you cringe, cry, whatever the case is I want to put out content, comedy, something fun and once again when the cameras
Mhm.
go off, I'm as simple as an old man can be. I love my peace, I love my quiet, I love my motorcycles, I love my support group, my friend circle. I'm very, very big, and you guys know we call each other every Sunday. We called each
Mhm.
other today, right? We do moderator calls, right? We talk
Yep.
as friends and family. That's what people don't see is that I am so far from what people think I am, and that's what makes me happy about it, is that I never want people to know who I am. If you think I'm that version of whatever you made up in your head, go right ahead. I'm okay with that. I don't owe you my private life. I don't owe you my peace. I don't owe you my personal thoughts. I don't owe you those things. So when the cameras go off, who is D?
Mhm.
He's a big mush. I'm a big mush. I love things that people would not think I love. And I'm really proud of that. I am happy and proud of the fact that I have that privacy and I have that peace.
Right.
I
Like
gotta
social
s
media is public, but
Yes.
your personal life is private.
Yes.
Yeah, for
Love
sure.
that.
I'm gonna start sending you daily bird Snapchats.
No, I'm gonna say this now. You guys are the first ones to know it. Me and Lauren Ash sends me a new bird every morning.
Yeah.
I love that.
She sends me a new bird every morning, the name of the bird, the information. She has a whole website. It's your daily bird. And every morning I drink my coffee, I click on it, I read about the bird, and then we message about it. Yeah, I'm dead serious. A
I
lot of people
love
don't know
that.
that, but yeah, we talk about the birds every morning and we talk about where they're located and all these things and
Ju
it's very funny because, a lot of people think I probably wake up and I'm like, "Let's go, let's do it, single moms, let's go." No, I'm drinking some coffee and I'm looking at birds, and I'm talking about it with Lauren Ash, so
Yeah.
yeah, it's a very
I love
peaceful,
that.
beautiful
I
life.
have multiple bird feeders, so I'll make sure to
Yeah,
snap a picture of them every morning.
please do,
We'll
Wait
have
till
to
please do,
send you a little
it's
window
one of
bird
my most
feeder.
favorite things, it's one of my most favorite hobbies, it really is.
wait till summer when the Baltimore Orioles are here.
Yeah,
That's amazing. I love that.
your private life is, one of the biggest things that you should have protected, and your personal
Mhm.
peace is one of the biggest things that you should have protected. And I tell people all the time, right? Just have boundaries.
Mhm.
Boundaries are good, saying no is good, and also living your best life is good. Life is way too short for me.
Yes.
Life is way
Mhm.
too short for me to be worried about everyone else's opinions and thoughts. It's too short.
You're right.
I'm not gonna sit in my house all day and worry about what people think of me. I just can't do it.
Mhm.
I'm sorry. Life's too short. The same way you're experiencing life is the same way I want to experience life. I want to
Yeah.
go out and make memories and moments with my family. I want to go out and see beautiful things and see my friends and family grow and find love and find happiness and peace. And and the only way to do that is to make sure that you give back to yourself. My suggestion is that just give back to yourself. Don't be afraid to do it either. Do it unapologetically. And that's what DLC stands for. That's the funny part. How many times have people said, you guys are supposed to be super feral because, like, look at D post. D post single moms and this and hanging women upside down and playing fiddle flute with their bean and doing all these crazy sexual acts. But you guys aren't that feral when we get to know you.
because that's not who
Okay,
you
no
are.
problem. We
Yeah.
live unapologetically. And what we mean by that is we go find our happiness. And if
Right.
10% of my happiness is posting a thirst trap on social media that makes people laugh, smile, or entices them to do something different with their life, or if it's something very sad that I post or something very motivating, if it helps people, I am happy.
I love that.
No, I love that.
Yeah.
I agree
So,
too.
yeah, I
I
love you
believe in that.
guys, and that's what it's about. Live your best life and spread love. It's very easy to spread
Mhm.
love, just as
Yeah.
it's just as easy to spread love as it is to spread hate.
Yeah.
The
See?
question of the day is, what type of person do you want to be?
Right.
I know
And
what
it
Nina's gonna
honestly, it
say.
takes more energy. It does take more energy to be negative though. That negative
Yeah.
mindset takes more, it gives you frowns and wrinkles. Like you have to use more muscles to be like and to be
You
negative
know,
versus being
Sorry, I don't
happy.
mean
It's
to.
like more natural. You know it's true though.
I,
It is true. If there wasn't
I
Botox here,
said,
I'd be like this all the
yeah,
time.
and I said to you guys on a call, I think it was a couple weeks ago, I'm too blessed with having people that would stop what they were doing in life to come check on me if I needed them to or come do something. I am blessed in a way where I can make a phone call to the group that we have, which includes both of you, and say, I need help or I need you here. I've never in my life been able to say that people would show up for me simply just saying that. So how can I not be grateful? I have people that I can call that will take a plane, that will take a car ride, that will stop what they're doing to be there for me. I am blessed.
Heartbeat.
Yep.
It's
Yep.
amazing the outlook in life when you surround yourself with like-minded people and for people who truly want the same goals as you or want to better you, life is different. Life is
It really
different.
is. It really is. It really is. Beautiful thing, truly.
Yes.
So, yeah, thank you guys. Thank you guys for having me
Oh,
today.
thank you. We
Well, thank you for
appreciate
joining
you.
us.
Yeah, no worries. I love you guys, and hopefully we could do it again. You know what I mean? And keep doing it and doing it and doing it. We're just gonna live our best life,
That's right.
Posting thirst traps, single moms and thongs, DLC all day, every day, feral as fuck. Let's go, baby.
Cream pies and
Nina,
remedies.
I know
What'd you say
Nina and
again?
I can't wait till we do our live podcast in person together.
Hmm.
Yeah, I'm excited for that too. Well, once
Yep.
again, it's about building those bonds and building community and reps and remedies is once again something that is very close to DLC because you guys have your own podcast, you have your own business, you guys are growing and thriving on social media, and that you're starting to get your own little egg in your nest and you're building your house. And I'm honored to be a part of it. And I hope I could help in the building process because one thing that I think a lot of people in the community don't see also is just how vigorously we want everyone to grow in their own way. That's what I love to see is when, my people are thriving in ways that are beneficial to them and that they're passionate about. I am not a fitness guru. I don't know how to do a podcast. I don't know how to do all these things, but what I can do is help in any way that I can benefit you, and do it with a smile on my face because seeing my friends be successful is a win for me because I'm honored to be a part of your inner circle. So I take your success personal.
Well, we appreciate you.
Thank you.
And we have to
So
give
Appreciate
a
you.
big thank you to you because if it wasn't for you, Nita and I would have never met.
Right?
well,
Exactly.
and the thing is that and the same goes for you though. If it wasn't for you, I wouldn't have met Nita or I wouldn't have met DLC or I wouldn't have met some subscribers or family members of the DLC community, right? That's what I mean about creating a fun community for adults is that, everyone is trying to thrive in their own way. We have Reps and Remedies. We have Marcy Fitness, Fit with Marcy. We also have Jen's doing something with
Hmm.
she's
Yeah.
creating her own business. We have Lauren Ash, who's head of DLC Socials and also has her own private personal page, Lust in the Shadows,
You
right?
have
Yes.
We
Kathy.
have yeah, and then once again we have Kathy Ireland, who in my opinion, we consider a very, very close DLC family member.
Hmm.
And Kathy Ireland is doing amazing things, interviewing people, and it's everything works because everyone is genuinely there for the right reasons.
Yep.
No, I
So
love it.
that's the cool part.
We
I
are
love it.
Ohana for life.
Yeah,
That's right.
Ohana for life. And life is too short to not want to see people succeed.
Right.
I'm just at that point in my life. I'm at that point in my life where I want everyone to be healthy, be happy, be okay, and I'm not there to kill my personal spirit or energy to make sure that other people are doing better than me. No, I'm there to be a part of your journey, your process as a friend, a family member, as someone who believes in you, and it's that simple. It's that simple.
Mhm.
Put good out into the world, and guess what? Good's gonna come back to you.
100%.
Agreed. This has been so fun.
Yeah,
That
absolutely. I love you guys, and happy Sunday, and thank you for having me. I love you guys.